Hill Township Board of Education reorganization regular meeting that at Long Hill Township Municipal Building on January 4th, 2014. Adequate notice of this meeting of the Long Hill Township Board of Education was given as required by the Open Public Meetings Act as follows. Notice was sent to the Echo Sentinel and the Daily Record on September 18th, 2023. Notices were posted on the bulletin board in the first floor entrance hall of the School District Administration Building, Gillette, New Jersey. Notices were filed with the Township Clerk, and notices were mailed to all persons who have requested individual notice pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act. We'll now stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, wait a second, I see. That's right. Is that better? Okay. In the annual election held on November 7th, 2023, the following individuals were elected to serve on the Board of Education for 3-year terms. Kim Case, Justin Foster, and Thomas Groskoff. Congratulations. We'll now take an oath of office for the new board members. Okay, we're going to do Kim first, Justin second, and Thomas third. I'm going to come to you, and we can swear you in. And you want to read
This,
this.
okay.
Okay,
That's what I
and
was
into the
wondering.
microphone.
Oh, all right, I gotta read and do this.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Please see if I go to the
1-4,
Okay.
right?
Oh, it's a lot, okay. I, Kim Case, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and this state under the authority of the people, so help me God. I, Kim Case, do solemnly swear that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law for the office of Member of Board of Education, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of that office according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
I, Justin Foster, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and this state under the authority of the people. So help me God. I, Justin Foster, do solemnly swear or affirm that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law for the office of Member of Board of Education, and I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties that office according to the best of my ability. So help me God.
Congratulations. You want me to hold it? No.
I, Thomas Groskoff, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people, so help me God. I, Thomas Groskoff, do solemnly swear that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law for the office of the Member of a Board of Education, and I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of that office according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Congratulations. The ones who just got sworn in, there are 2 copies of the oath. Sign 1 copy, pass it to me. The other copy is for your records. Thank you. Here. We'll now take roll call for the board. Mrs. Butler?
Here.
Mrs. Case?
Here.
Mrs. Daly?
Here.
Mr. Foster?
Here.
Mr. Groskoff?
Here.
Dr. Marr?
Here.
Mrs. McLennan? Here. Ms. Nyquist?
Here.
Ms. Ruvalo?
Here.
Now we're going to continue on to the election of the board president. Can I please have a motion to open elections for the president?
So moved.
Second.
You have to name someone, don't we?
was to
Can
open
some-
up.
Oh,
Aye.
open.
To open
I
it.
apologize.
Can I nominate?
Yes, can you not please nominate somebody?
I'd like to nominate Kim Case.
Second.
I make a
Kim,
motion to
Kim, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, I do.
close.
Are there any more nominations for president? Can I have a motion to close nominations?
So moved.
Second.
Third.
We're now going to vote for Kim for president. Hold on one second. I'm sorry, I lost my voting sheet. It's right here. But I just called it, didn't I? Yeah, I'm gonna have to wing it. It's all good. Okay, Ms. Butler,
Yes.
Mrs. Case,
Yes.
Ms. Daly,
Yes.
Mr. Foster,
Yes.
Mr. Grosskopf,
Yes.
Dr. Marr,
Yes.
Ms. McLennan,
Yes.
Ms. Nyquist,
Yes.
and Ms. Rublo.
Yes.
Congratulations, Kim.
Thank you. You don't have to
Yes.
pass me a gavel because there
Oh,
seems to
got
be.
an extra one. Okey-doke.
Great. Thank you, everyone. We are going to move to the election of the board vice president. I'm going to ask for a motion to open up the nomination process.
So moved.
Second. Okay. Are there any nominations for the office of vice president? Melissa?
I make a motion to nominate Ann Butler as vice president.
Second.
Any other nominations? Okay, so did you do a motion to close nominations then? There's a lot of motioning.
yes.
Let's motion to close the nominations.
So moved.
Second.
Wait, who just said that?
Crystal.
Crystal, okay.
And can we do a roll call?
Mm-hmm. Ms. Butler?
I guess I'll abstain.
Okay. Ms. Case?
Yes.
Ms. Daly?
Yes.
Mr. Foster?
Yes.
Mr. Grosskopf?
Yes.
Dr. Marr?
Yes.
Ms. McLennan?
Yes.
Ms. Ruvlo?
Yes.
And Ms. Nyquist?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Ann.
Thank you.
Okay, great. We're going to move on in the agenda to communications. Mr. Alexis, did you want to mention a communication?
Yeah, there are two of them. The week before the holiday break, we received an email, the board received an email from a parent about transportation communication. I responded on behalf of the board and informed them that we continue to look at ways to improve communication. But as we saw even this week, we still struggle with late notifications from the bus company, but we're staying on that. The board members also received an email regarding an agenda item yesterday. Mrs. Case acknowledged receipt on behalf of the board.
Okay, thank you. Board committee and liaison reports. We'll start with Karen.
Morris County Ed Services Commission had a meeting in December. It was a very short meeting. There was nothing of import for our district. Governance did not meet in December. However, one of the agenda items which will be on for January is to do like a little postmortem on our half-year retreat or mid-year retreat. So if anybody has any comment, good, bad, or indifferent, bullet, nothing big, just send me the comments so we can talk about them at the governance meeting. I also want to say, this is when you really have to get your transition reports in, if you haven't already. They have to get to Kim. Finance did not have a meeting this month, but we did get together to approve the bills, so you can feel free to agree with or, vote yes for every finance resolution. That's it.
Great. Any questions for Karen? No? Okay. Danielle?
Okay, yes, so, from the PTO, it looks like the 15th annual PTO coat drive, it collected 145 winter coats, and food days are open, food days registration is open. It closes on January 10th. The next PTO general meeting is on Wednesday, January 31st at 7 p.m. in the Millington Media Center. Please support the PTO by joining as a paid member and also completing the volunteer opportunities form on the PTO website. And as per usual, if anyone has any questions, please email lhtpto@gmail.com.
Great. Any questions for Danielle? Okay. Crystal?
Nothing to report this month.
Thank you. Anne?
Student achievement did not meet in December. Just for your information, we had tentatively scheduled a meeting for the 9th of January for the new committees, which I think is upcoming, but FYI, and then there'll be another meeting, our February meeting is scheduled as well.
Okay, great. Any questions for Anne? Okay, Tom?
No report at this time.
Okay, Justin?
No report.
Okay, Melissa?
The policy committee did not meet in the month of December, but we will be meeting again on January 18th at 7 o'clock PM.
Okay, great. Katie?
The Community Relations Committee had a brief meeting. We discussed the strategic communication plan, outreach to the community, as well as the frequency of our meetings next year. And I think we're recommending that we keep a schedule of monthly meetings, but with the kind of the eye towards doing it bi-monthly, but if something comes up, to have that on the schedule so it's easy to meet. And there is on the schedule an upcoming meeting on January 10th if the committees have been reformed or whatever, so that's it. And then for the Long Hill Education Foundation, the new season of forest classes started this Monday. This is the shorter session, and it's just with classes that are ran by faculty because of like notice with the weather and things like that. It's easier to do it a shorter session in the winter. We are looking for someone to be a coordinator of the of force. So if anyone's interested in it, it is a paid position. They would be coordinating with the community to hire outside vendors, as well as working with the staff, as well as setting up things on the website and communicating with parents that have questions or issues. If anyone's interested, send an email to LHEDfoundation@longhill.org or reach out to myself, Yasmin Giovanni, and we will be happy to hear from you. And that's open to both staff and the community. And also, we are scheduling an upcoming family movie night to be held indoors. I don't have the specifics yet. I believe it's going to be in late February, and movie and location TBD. So I will update everyone at the next meeting.
Yeah, I would say indoors, you might want to push it. Everybody's sick. Everybody has
Yeah.
Okay, any questions for Katie? And I skipped Melissa's questions. Did anyone have questions for Melissa? No? Okay. Okay, oh, wait, I want to say one thing. In regards to committees, so everybody will get an email with a Google form which asks you what committees would you like to be on, what committees have you been on, and I kind of put it together based on a multitude of factors. Some of it is, it's going to ask like when your availability is, because I try to coordinate that amongst people. Some of it is you've already served on certain committees and we want to give people experience to serve on those committees. So, I try to do my best to give a balance of, what your interests are and also where your strengths are so that you can, obviously make the committees as effective as possible. So I will send out that form in the next 2 days or so, and then we'll go from there. So if you could just pay attention to that.
Kim, excuse me.
Yes.
We haven't come to it yet, but there's the resolution that identifies all the committees and everything. Wasn't there something that came up about whether we were going to keep all schools council?
Oh.
Were we going to disband it and do something else?
Well, we just weren't going to meet. But I guess you're right, we could remove it, I think, but,
My suggestion would
I
be
would
to
leave it in.
throw it to governance and maybe have a discussion with governance about the committees and to see whether or not
That's
we
fair.
need to remove them maybe for another discussion. But I don't know that
Future
anybody
agenda.
right now is ready to do that, right?
Okay, I thought,
fair.
I thought we had kind of decided, because there was a conflict, if we have, let's say, a staff members and a board member on that committee, there could be a conflict.
I didn't think it
So we would-
existed on that.
But I believe Ann was the one who inquired of Charlene regarding
Yeah, but
that.
Karen, is that, what number are you looking at?
What-
32, page 10.
Oh. I didn't realize that was the same thing. Yeah, we could vote to amend that, couldn't we?
We could.
I guess when we got to those resolutions.
Okay, I was just curious, okay.
Okay. If you want to make a motion to amend that, then we could hear that during that time period, but we'll go to superintendent's report.
okay, great. Thank you, Kim. So, Happy New Year, everyone. First, I want to congratulate Kim, Tom, and Justin. Thank you for your service, and I want to welcome Justin to the board. It's great to have you with us, Justin. Given that it's School Board Recognition Month, though, let me thank all of you for your service and your dedicated volunteerism. It's just a great model for our students as we move through the school year. On the agenda, I want to point out two items. First, congratulations to kindergarten teacher Mary Jean Snow on her retirement, which will be effective at the end of the year. We thank her for 29 years of outstanding service and wish her all the best in her future endeavors. Second, I'm pleased to report that we are starting our after-school tutoring program this month. That's a month earlier than last year, and I want to acknowledge the teachers and principals for getting this all organized and putting together this important support for our kids. Last, though not on the agenda, I want to celebrate two of our students, Audrey Tracy at Central and Alina Belfield at Millington, who are enjoying the honor of having their artwork included in the 2024 New Jersey Division of Fire Safety calendar. This is a statewide endeavor. Congratulations to Audrey and Alina and their art teachers, Mrs. Dunn and Mrs. Cohen. As Karen pointed out before the meeting, they're the only two. This is the only district that has two students in the 12 months of the calendar, their artwork included, from one district.
Not bad for such a tiny district.
And Mr. Huber, the fire official from Long Hill, dropped off a box of calendars at the board office, and Adele was kind enough to bring one to you, so you all have one for here tonight. And that's it for me. I guess we can move on to Robin.
Okay.
Okay. I just want to mention a couple of things. There was no finance meeting this time, so the agenda's a little bit short. We have Paret Samjian on the agenda under finance. We're starting to get some things together for summer work. So we have you approving plans and paperwork for the fire alarm system in Gillette. I want you to know that it's listed there as $40,000 as the cost. I actually got him to reduce it to 38, so in the minutes that you get, it'll have a different figure. We also have approval for them to help us with some plans for classroom renovations, and again, it's just because we're starting to look forward to summer projects. We're approving the preschool rate. We didn't see a need to raise it. We're keeping it $9,500 for the year. We have, also, I wanted to mention some donations. We got a $200 donation for the Sterling Hotel to go toward the choral groups that sang for the Christmas and holiday concerts there. That we have also a visiting author who is giving us some books, and we want to thank Annika Reese for the donation for the books. We also have on the agenda that we are trying to get rid of our dump truck that is no longer commissioned. It is really rusted out. We're going to be looking to purchase a new one, but we're hoping that maybe somebody will buy it for parts or some other use, so we're trying to get a little extra money out of that. And we also have Mark Persina on the agenda. We're approving a little bit more money for him to stay It's still through January, except that some of the projects that he was working on were not complete, and we wanted to make sure that there was a good transition from Mark to Frank. So just a little bit more for Mark, because he put in the hours. And lastly, I want to tell you that we're still having transportation issues, and I wish I had better news. We're not hearing as much, but it seems still that anytime we have a sub, we have an issue. We're trying to alert parents as soon as I get a call. We send out the message, we just don't get calls. And that really is an issue. We got a message yesterday that one of the buses with a regular driver was running. I called and asked, he said it's running 8 minutes late. Well, by the time we got off the phone, it was a half hour late. There's just no end to it. So, but we are trying to work on it. We're trying to come up with solutions. I did have over an hour-long conversation with the county BA and the county superintendent, and they gave me some ideas as to things that we could do. Karen, I still am gonna call the ESC person. I just wanted to talk to the county first.
No problem.
So that's on my
That's it.
agenda. So that's where we stand with that. I wish I had better transportation news. I don't.
Okay, any questions for? Okay.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How long is our contract with them? Okay. Is there any stipulation we can put in future contracts about?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We're gonna do a way better job of vetting the contracts. I also talk daily, I hate to say it, I talk daily with Tim Stiles at Watchung Regional, who's the business administrator there. So he is well aware of the problems that we are having. His problems are not as great because his children are older, and they're also first on the pickup and drop-off. But he is well aware that this is not something that our community is going to stand for another year. I think as is the bus company. I think they know that, you know. Well, I mean, when you get a call every morning at 5 a.m., you know, Vince and I are friends now. You know, he knows it's not going well. Right? You can't be calling every day and have something to say.
Other questions? Okay. Okay, thank you, Robin. Any comments from the public on agenda items? No? Okay. So, do we need to read number 1 in? Or we can just, number 1 is a resolution for School Board Recognition Month. I just, yeah, I think we have another one to read, so maybe, I'll just start with this with number 1. So, Karen, will you, make a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Second.
Questions? As you know, Mr. Alexis said, thank everyone for their service. It's, you know, everybody's putting a lot of effort and time into this, and it shows in the district and the outcomes, and I just think we keep moving and doing all the best that we can for the students in the community, and I appreciate your time and energy, and I think we have a good year ahead of us. Okay, roll call.
Mrs. Butler?
Yes.
Mrs. Case?
Yes.
Ms. Daly?
Yes.
Mr. Foster?
Yes.
Mr. Grosskopf?
Yes.
Dr. Marr?
Yes.
Mrs. McLennan?
Yes.
Ms. Nyquist?
Yes.
Ms. Ruvalo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okey dokey. So to resolutions, under the reorganization numbers, we have a lot. 2 through 32. Danielle, will you move those in?
So moved.
Wait, don't we
Wait,
want
make
to,
a motion.
motion to amend 32?
Oh, yes.
Well, that's
And that
what,
come under discussion.
I like Kim's suggestion about
Yeah, move it
just
to
talking
the-
about it in governance
Okay.
first before we go ahead
Okay.
and remove it.
is that,
Okay.
But for
It's okay.
Robert's Rule of Order clarification, now we're all just talking over you, by the way, sorry.
Yeah.
Is it that we make the motion and then we second it and then there's discussion? And is that where we would discuss amending? Do you know what I mean? I'm just wondering for my own sake how that would work if we were gonna make a motion. Like, where would the discussion happen?
discussion about amending?
Yeah,
that?
like if
So
you-
that's when it would happen, right there.
Yeah,
Right
so-
when Robin did it, where somebody said, do you want to make a motion to, before we did a roll call? To
So it's
ex-
you make a motion, you move them in, and then someone seconds it, and then when you say discussion, then we could talk?
You can make a motion at any
I
point to amend any item on the agenda, and that supersedes whatever action's happening.
I make a motion
Like
right
you
now.
said, for the order, right?
Yeah,
You-
yeah.
Of course, before we approve that, we
Yeah.
would want to make a motion to amend it if we were intending on amending
Yeah,
it,
of
or
course,
you were
of
intending
course.
on amending it.
Yeah.
But if we're not,
Well, I can make a motion to leave the number 32 as is, but move it to discussion for the, I don't think we even need a motion
I
for
don't
that,
think you
though.
need a motion, no. I
I'm
think
just gonna
that's,
stop talking right
that's
now.
okay. It's like,
I was gonna bring it up
get
after
our
everyone
Robert's
seconded
Rules of
and
Order
said-
brains
Yeah.
together on January 4th. Nothing like starting the new year out. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Danielle, if that's okay. So to move in 2 through 32.
So moved.
Second.
Any other questions or discussion? Okay, roll
I'm
call.
sorry, who said second?
I did.
That was you, Crystal. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not
Just
recognizing
gotta
your
learn
voice.
your voice.
Yeah.
Okay. Mrs. Butler?
Yes.
Mrs. Case?
Yes.
Mrs. Daly?
Yes.
Mr. Foster?
Yes.
Mr. Grosskopf?
Yes.
Dr. Marr?
Yes.
Ms. McLennan?
Yes.
Ms. Nyquist?
Yes.
And Ms. Rubelo?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll add that to the governance agenda. Okay, great. So next on that is adoption of New Jersey School Boards Association Board Member Code of Ethics. So this is something that we're going to read in, and we're going to go clause by clause. So I'll just start. Resolved that the Long Hill Township Board of Education adopts and agrees to abide by the New Jersey School Boards Association Board Member Code of Ethics as set forth in NJSA 18A:12-24.1. Code of Ethics. Karen, will you do A?
I will uphold and enforce all laws, rules, and regulations of the State Board of Education and court orders pertaining to schools. Desired changes should be brought only through legal and ethical procedures.
Thank you. Danielle, B.
I will make decisions in terms of the educational welfare of children and will seek to develop and maintain public schools that meet the individual needs of all children regardless of their ability, race, creed, sex, or social standing.
Crystal, C.
I will confine my board action to policymaking, planning, and appraisal, and I will help them to frame policies and plans only after the board has consulted those who will be affected by them.
And D.
I will carry out my responsibility not to administer the schools, but to gather with my fellow board members to see that they are well-run.
Tom, E.
I will recognize that authority rests with the Board of Education and will make no personal promises nor take any private action that may compromise the board.
Justin, F.
I will refuse to surrender my independent judgment to special interest or partisan political groups or to use the schools for personal gain or for the gain of friends.
Melissa, G.
I will hold confidential all matters pertaining to the schools which, if disclosed, would needlessly injure individuals or the schools. In all other matters, I will provide accurate information and, in concert with my fellow board members, interpret to the staff the aspirations of the community for its schools.
Katie, H.
I will vote to appoint the best qualified personnel available after consideration of the recommendation of the Chief Administrative Officer.
Ann, I.
I will support and protect school personnel in proper performance of their duties.
I'll read J. I will refer all complaints to the Chief Administrative Officer and will act on the complaints at public meetings only after failure of an administrative solution. So, Crystal, will you move that in?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Butler?
Yes.
Mrs. Case?
Yes.
Mrs. Daly?
Yes.
Mr. Foster?
Yes.
Mr. Grosskopf?
Yes.
Dr. Marr?
Yes.
Mrs. McLennan?
Yes.
Mrs. Nyquist?
Yes.
Ms. Rubelo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, now we sign, Robin.
Yes, now please sign the ethics. One copy is for you, one copy is for me.
So sign
So
that
sign
and
and pass
pass
it
that down. Make sure you write 2024, because I already wrote 2023 a couple times. Thank you. Okay, now going to regular order of business, we're gonna start with minutes. Anne, will you move those in?
So moved.
Second.
Is this two?
Any questions on the minutes?
No, that's coming up.
Okay, okay, well, we have though, 2023 Robin and 2024, so we have to
Oh,
be,
thank you.
we have to
Yeah.
amend that.
I make a motion.
Mrs. Butler?
Yes.
Mrs. Case?
Yes.
Mrs. Daly?
Yes.
Mr. Foster?
Abstain.
Mr. Grosskopf?
Yes.
Dr. Marr?
Yes.
That Mrs. McLennan?
Yes.
Ms. Nyquist?
Yes.
Ms. Rublo?
Yes as to 34A, abstain as from 34B.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Tom, will you move in financials numbers 35 through 49?
So moved.
Wait, I'd like to make a motion to amend 40 to, paragraph 40 to, from $40,000 to $38,000 based on the report of the BA today.
Second.
I'll second
Any
it.
questions on it? Okay. Tom did a second. I don't know how official you're making this, Robin, so.
Yeah, I thought Tom moved it.
I moved it.
Oh, you moved it, I'm
Yes.
sorry, okay. Okay. Mrs. Butler?
Yes.
Mrs. Case?
Yes.
Mrs. Daly?
Yes.
Mr. Foster?
Yes.
Mr. Grosskopf?
Yes.
Dr. Marr?
Yes.
Mrs. McLennan?
Yes.
Ms. Nyquist?
Yes, but I abstain from 39.
Okay. And Ms. Rublo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, Justin, will you move in special services numbers 50 through 52?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Danielle did the second if you needed it, Robin.
Okay.
Okay, roll call?
Mrs. Butler?
Yes.
Mrs. Case?
Yes.
Mrs. Daly?
Yes.
Mr. Foster?
Yes.
Mr. Grosskopf?
Yes.
Dr. Marr?
Yes.
Ms. McLennan?
Yes.
Ms. Nyquist?
Yes.
Ms. Rublo?
Yes.
Okay. Personnel, Melissa, will you move in items number 53 through 68?
So moved?
Second.
Any questions?
I just wanted to make a comment on number 58. I think it's really great to see the district make a commitment to a full-time paraprofessionals. As a special ed parent and as someone who has a child that has a para who doesn't need a full-time para, it's great to see that for families that do need that, it's there, especially since we've had several of the full-time paras move on and retire or move to other positions. So it's really good to see that commitment.
And both of these are former full-time paras.
Oh,
who
wow.
Are moving back into the position.
Oh, that's
Yeah, yeah.
wonderful.
It's helping us create a better balance.
That's wonderful.
That's great.
I just wanted to comment about Mrs. Snow. I never had a direct dealing with her in terms of having a student, my son. But every other interaction and everything you ever heard, she was truly a teacher that was loved by her students and loved by the parents. She had actually left for a while and came back. She got transferred. Her husband got transferred at the time. And it was almost like they were going to have a marching band when she came back. I mean, it was so everybody was just very, very excited. She's just a very special lady. So I wish her the best in her retirement.
Yeah, I don't think you
Very
can
nice.
ask for more than 29 years of service, right? That's
Yeah.
incredible. And I think, that's, the whole kindergarten team has such a special thing going on, which is really nice. What a nice welcome for our students to start in the district. Okay. Okay, roll call, please.
Roll call. Mrs. Butler?
Yes.
Mrs. Case?
Yes.
Mrs. Daly?
Yes, but abstained from 56.
Okay. Mr. Foster?
Yes.
Mr. Grosskopf?
Yes.
Dr. Marr?
Yes.
Mrs. McLennan?
Yes.
Ms. Nyquist?
Yes.
Ms. Rublo?
Yes, but abstain from 56.
Okay, curriculums, number 69. Katie, will you move that in?
So moved?
Second.
Any questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Mrs. Butler?
Yes.
Mrs. Case?
Yes.
Mrs. Daly?
Yes.
Mr. Foster?
Yes.
Mr. Grosskopf?
Yes.
Dr. Marr?
Yes.
Mrs. McLennan?
Yes.
Ms. Nyquist?
Yes.
Ms. Rublo?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm just going back around. Policy, Karen, will you move in number 70 and 71?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions?
Yeah, who just said second?
Danielle.
Danielle.
Danielle. Thank you.
Okay, roll call?
Mrs. Butler?
Yes.
Mrs. Case?
Yes.
Ms. Daly?
Yes.
Mr. Foster?
Yes.
Mr. Grosskopf?
Yes.
Dr. Marr?
Yes.
Mrs. McLennan?
Yes.
Ms. Nyquist?
Yes.
Ms. Ruvalo?
Yes.
Okie dokie, and then we have other items, number 72 through 76. Danielle, we move those in?
So moved.
Second.
Comment on item 72.
Yeah.
It's noted as the Code of Governance, but it was bifurcated. The Code of Governance was bifurcated 2 years ago into the General Operational Guidelines and the Governance Pledge.
Mm-hmm.
It's only listed as one item here. I don't know if you want to list it separately.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna bring up. So we should say pledge and code of governance.
Yes, two
Okay,
separate items.
so adopts the Code of Governance and pledge.
Yeah, board pledge, right?
Well, it would be a separate item. Because there are two documents now.
You could put it in one.
I mean, so you're telling, it's this now, it's not to be together?
That's how it's been.
They are obviously related, but in terms of documents and accepting it into our record, I guess that's what we had done.
So we're saying the Code of Governance is separate from the Governance Pledge.
So do
The
we need
board
to
pledge,
add
yes.
a
what
separate,
he's
like a
saying,
number
yeah.
77,
Yes,
or create a motion?
or 72A.
Or Robin could just note it in the minutes, too.
Okay, so what we're saying is we want to vote on these separately?
Right.
Done in the past 2 years.
Okay. So, Robin, we're gonna have two different resolutions, or however you want to do it, 72, A and B.
Mm-hmm.
One is the Code of Governance, and the other is the Governance Pledge.
Yep.
Okay. I just want to be clear, so when people vote on it, so A is the Code of Governance,
B
And then
would be the
B-
pledge.
B is the Pledge. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we had a second, and so any other questions? Okay, roll call.
Mrs. Butler?
Yes.
Mrs. Case?
Yes.
Pardon,
Da-
what are we voting on? We're voting on A or?
We're voting on the whole lot,
72,
But if you
A,
want to
B,
vote
but if
something
76.
specific, you can.
Fair
but
enough,
you
thank
can abstain from whatever,
Mhm.
or
Thank you.
vote no, or,
Yeah.
okay,
Okay, Mrs. Butler?
Yes.
Mrs. Case?
yes.
Mrs. Daly?
Yes.
Mr. Foster?
Yes.
Mr. Grosskopf?
Yes on A, no on B.
And all the rest of them, Tom, there's 76.
And the
too.
rest, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Dr. Marr?
Yes.
Mrs. McLennan?
Yes.
Ms. Nyquist?
Yes.
Ms. Ruvalo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Does anyone else feel uneasy about our Robert's Rules of Order process? Any items for discussion?
I don't know if it's an item for discussion, it's just my negligence, I guess. We had already passed the calendar for this year,
Yes.
and I went looking for it, and I couldn't find it in our minute, like, when did we do that? I mean,
The calendar for 2024?
Or- right.
That would be last year.
No, you mean for 2024, 25?
right, that, for
I
our,
th- I
for our
think it was
meetings.
last month or the month before. It was recent.
December.
I think it was at our last meeting.
I think it was
All
December.
right,
yeah.
'cause then I didn't look carefully enough online.
It was December.
Oh, she's
Okay.
not talking about the school calendar?
School
No, no,
calendar
not
or-
the school
Oh,
calendar,
oh,
our
oh,
board
oh.
meeting calendar.
Oh, I thought
okay.
I thought the
I
meeting,
don't
I thought the
know that.
meeting calendar, correct me if I'm wrong, Robin, I thought it was October.
Yeah, we did it a
Yeah, I
while
don't
ago.
remember. I
Yeah.
thought you meant the school calendar.
No, no, and I couldn't find it. I mean, might be my
It
fault
has been.
for not.
Okay,
I
because
know
I was
we-
looking for it like the other day. and it
Yeah,
wasn't.
Jack.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Tuesday after Christmas.
Because it's not up on the online
I
yet.
have a new.
Okay,
babysitter
so-
I need to.
Can someone share that with Robin, or Robin, can you share it with Karen?
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
absolutely.
Could you share it with all of us, just to make sure we've got it
Calendar,
right?
absolutely,
That would be
sure.
great, thank you.
Well, we can put it on the website, too. if
I
it's
believe
not.
it is, right,
That's-
Jack? Didn't
is
we
it
put
there or
up
not?
right Tuesday after Christmas,
Oh, it
right?
is on the website.
It
okay.
is,
Thank you.
because it was the old.
It was my Christmas message. Jack, a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, it's
Please update
there.
the calendar.
Okay, I'll check. I didn't look at it after Christmas. I looked at it
Is
before.
it in the
That's when I
board
sent them
calendar part,
information.
or is it in the calendar part?
It's underneath meeting
Meetings.
dates and Board of Education.
Okay, so it is in the Board of Ed
I don't know if
section.
it's on the actual calendar, but
Okay.
it's in the,
Great.
maybe it will be at some point.
Okay, other questions or thoughts for discussion? No? Okay, any comments from the public? Okay, we have to sign before we move on. Wait, what do we need to sign for you
You
again,
need to
Rob?
sign the governance one and then pass that along as well. I think Adele was nice enough to put a little sticky on it.
Oh, I did, but I did my dramatic pull apart, so
Yeah,
here.
Yep.
let me do this. Okay, so sign that and make sure you send that down to Robin.
You gave me, yeah, so you should have,
Thank you.
new members should have the oath, a copy. Everybody else should have an ethics copy, and then you're gonna pass the governance copy along and
Well,
keep one for
I think
yourself.
I did it. I did it. Okay. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Okay, guys, thank you.
I thought we were moving into an exec session.